What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Marvel Legends VHS collection, the X-Men's Cyclops. And so here we have the VHS Cyclops posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Cyclops does come with several sets of hands. We do get a pair of fists. We get a pair of style pose hands. And then we have a left hand for using his optic blast. Other than that, we don't get any other accessories with Cyclops. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Cyclops. And so here we have a closer look at the VHS series Cyclops, and I have to say I am really impressed by this figure. They did a lot of things right on Cyclops here. Really liking the way he came out. As far as the head sculpt goes, I originally thought this was going to be a reuse of the Warlock Cyclops. It's actually not. It looks like it's a completely brand new sculpt, and I really do like that. And you can tell it's brand new because his entire visor is a completely new piece. It's not sculpted to his head. It feels like maybe his head is dual mode, well, tri-molded actually, because we have his flesh tone, his cowl, and then his hair. So yeah, it looks like it's in parts. Actually, it would be quad molded because we have the visor, the mask, the face, and the hair. But overall, it looks impressive. I am really liking the way it came out. Really do like this head sculpt, and it looks just like it did from the animated series, so really loving that. Another thing I really do like is just the overall aesthetics of the figure. You can see he is cel shaded, which is a selling point of the VHS figures, but I feel like Cyclops might be one of the better VHS figures that Hasbro is offering. Everything else just seems to be a reissue and a repaint of an older figure. Cyclops here is using brand new parts, and that is very cool. I really do like that. As you can see with the original Cyclops, he had an overlay right here for his harness, which at the time was really good. I still like this figure. But this one, it has more of that X-Men feel with the blue and yellow instead of the blue and orange yellowish. And I do like the fact that they actually sculpted in the recesses for his harness. So his harness is a separate appliance, but it is glued in, and it looks fantastic. Really do like it. I like the X right here. I like the X on his belt. On the back, you can see it's still molded, and one thing I really do like about it is that it's molded in a way that if you articulate them, it's actually articulated on the inside of that joint, so it actually moves with the figure. It's not a separate harness that will get in the way. It actually moves with the figure, so I do like that. I do like the paint. A lot of people don't like the cel shading. Me, I'm just happy to see Hasbro actually putting paint on a figure. Now, it's not the most consistent thing ever, because you can see there is some shading right here on this arm, none over here, not even on the inside. Yes, we have some on the inside. They should have really painted the inside of his bicep right there. But then we go on to the back, and it's business as usual. Hasbro did not paint a single thing on the back of the figure. Again, Hasbro will Hasbro whenever they can, and it's normally Hasbro's calling card where it's like 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. I think this is like 2 steps forward and maybe 3 steps back. I would love to see just a comic book Cyclops released on this mold. This body, this Jim Lee Cyclops would look really nice. I do like it. Again, he does have the cel shading right here where you can see he has some color to him, which I'm perfectly fine with. It looks okay again, and I'm just happy to see Hasbro using paint on figures. One thing that this figure also does right is that these, his little leg tassels, harnesses, these were separate pieces and would always flop around, as well as the ones here on his boot. Here, they're sculpted on there. They are just molded and sculpted, so they do not move at all. They seem to have perfected the Cyclops mold, and honestly, you guys, I really like this figure. I guess you can also customize this body, this color scheme, and make a Captain Falcon if you really wanted to. I don't know, I'm just going on a tangent, but yeah, really liking Cyclops. I think this figure looks the best, and it's one of the best Cyclops figures Hasbro has given to us. Even though he's cel shaded, I can look past that and say very well done. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare Cyclops to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have the VHS Cyclops posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the VHS Cyclops posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Cyclops posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have the VHS Cyclops posed next to the original Warlock series Cyclops. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Cyclops' articulation. Now, it does appear that he just has a disc hinge here in the neck as well as a ball joint in the head. So with the ball joint, he can look up to about right there. Can't really look down because his jaw is kind of chiseled and it gets in the way. Very slight head tilt, if any, and it does turn left and right. And because it is on a disc hinge, he can look up to about right there. And he looks down to about right there. He does have butterfly joints which do pivot back and forward really nicely. They go all the way around, no problem. They go out to the side. Do they go? Yes, they do go all the way to a T-pose, so I do like that. He has a swivel here in the bicep. We have a double bend at the elbow, a swivel and hinge at the wrist, and that was for every single hand he has. We do have an ab crunch which only goes back about that far. Goes forward that far, but I really do like that. It's a really good joint. Then it does swivel here at the waist. Legs do kick forward to about right there. A little less than what I would like, but it's still acceptable. Going back to about right there. Out to the side. Better than most Spider-Man, and this makes me happy because all the other X-Men using this mold are going to have this bit of articulation, so that is really nice. We do have a thigh swivel, which is surprising because it's right here at the top of the band. It's not at the bottom like you would expect, so yeah, it does swivel right there. He does have double bend here at the knee, but you can see it is a little bit stiff on mine. That second joint, there we go. That second joint didn't want to go, but yeah, he gets really good range right there. Then we do have a boot swivel right here and underneath the cuff as well. Another nice piece of articulation that is well hidden, so that moves nicely. He does have a hinge in the ankle going back and forward, and then forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Cyclops here has some pretty impressive articulation, which is good for an updated Cyclops. So yeah, Scott here has some really good articulation. So with that out of the way, let's get in pose for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Marvel Legends VHS Cyclops pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like the way this figure came out. I know a lot of people are going to be upset at the cell shading on this figure, but to be honest, it really doesn't throw off the look of the figure. If anything, it does make the figure look a little bit better. Now, yes, that will be an issue when you have him next to all the other figures that you have, because Scott here is going to have cell shading and the other ones aren't. I know you can alleviate that by getting the cell shaded series that Hasbro made, but again, I passed on most of those figures because it was basically just a cheap cash grab at reissuing figures that we already have, just in cell shaded color schemes, and honestly, it's not really worth the price for half of those figures. I think Cyclops here is the second figure to be well worth the price. I think the first figure was Morph, but I haven't picked up Morph yet. Cyclops here, I do like the fact that he is using an updated body with updated articulation and updated technologies, because it makes this figure look so much better than that original Warlock figure that we got, which at the time was a really good figure, but as time has gone on, he's become a little bit outdated. This is a great replacement for it. Now, I know a lot of people have been taking acetone and paint stripper to remove some of the cell shading on this figure. Me, I think I'm going to keep it this way just because it gives it a little bit of character. But yes, I really love this Cyclops, and if there's one thing I would have changed, I would have given him an alternate head with an energy beam coming out of his visor. That would have been the best thing that Hasbro could have done, and I'm surprised they didn't. They have the mold, they have the parts. Why didn't we get it? I don't know. Hasbro will Hasbro when they get the chance. Overall, I'm extremely satisfied with this figure. And if you're a fan of the X-Men TV series from back in the day, that animated classic which everybody knows, I think Cyclops is well worth the price of admission, especially seeing as how most of these figures are just a cheap cash grab Cyclops here is using brand new parts, brand new sculpt, and brand new technology. So yeah, I think Cyclops here is probably one of the best ones to pick up from that series. If you want to pick up Cyclops, he is available on Hasbro Pulse at the time of making this video, and after shipping comes out to about $32, which yeah, that's about the price of exclusive figures for Hasbro. Now, it's not the way I want to do things, but yeah, Hasbro upped the price, so if you really want it, you do got to pay the price. Overall, Cyclops here is a great addition to any X-Men fan, and I really do recommend him if you're a fan of Cyclops himself, the X-Men, or just a fan of the original animated series. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other X-Men and Marvel related videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.